So for this video, we're going to work on part 4, which introduces the circular pattern feature. And while we're doing this, I just want to show you kind of a quick way to draw your shape. I just drew 2 rectangles and a line, and I just finished. You can see the center line is still selected. So if I were to draw another line, it would be a center line. So again, going through some of the geometric constraints that we talked about with the rubber handle, I want to start by getting these points vertically aligned, but because of the view that I'm in the right side view. Sometimes the vertical and horizontal constraints don't always behave as we want them to. And so you can see I'm actually using the horizontal constraint, which appears to be acting like a vertical constraint in this one. And you can see kind of which way it's going when you go to hover over the points. So be sure to watch out for that. So here, I actually made this a center line, and the part here is shown as a construction line, so that's not going to work for me. So I'm going to click on this line, I'm going to uncheck the center line, and I'm going to click on the construction line. Now as I go to put in these dimensions from the center line or my construction line to my bottom line, I can type in the 0.375 and all of this is going to come in really nice. And you notice that I did a rectangle shape, or actually 2 rectangles. You could have drawn this out with the line tool and drawn kind of the L shape. I like the rectangles because it's 4 clicks to draw 2 rectangles instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks to draw the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. So one more dimension. Alright, so now everything's fully constrained, and again, if you didn't pay close attention at the beginning, I did use a vertical constraint on all of this stuff. I applied some constraints down here. Actually, again, yep, it was the horizontal constraint to get it to appear the way I wanted it to. And then all of these are parallel because I used the rectangular tool when I started drawing it. So I'm going to finish my sketch. Use the revolve. I need to select the profile. I need to click on both parts of the shape, and then the axis that I'm going to click on is that part right there, and that's going to give me a revolve that looks like this. Okay, the next part is the keyway detail, and if we zoom in on this, it actually is kind of a little bit of a round on the bottom, but you can do the round or not do the round. The round is a little bit trickier. I'm going to start by projecting the geometry. You can kind of see some yellow lines. So I'm just going to click on this face. So I've got that geometry. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle in here to kind of get us going. Because this is vertically aligned, okay, they have a dimension in here, 0.05. And that's going to be from the center point to the outside edge is going to be 0.05. And then the overall distance going across is going to be 0.05. Oh, they're dimensioning it. It's hard to see, but that's from the center line to the other side, which is kind of a weird way to do it, but that's what they're doing. From the center line to the other side is also 0.05. So instead of doing the overall distance and half the distance, they're just doing half the distance on both sides. Kind of a different way to do it. Not personally how I would do it. Then what is our distance to the back? Our distance from the center point to the back is 0.45. Now they have an arc drawn here. If you want to go in and draw an arc, you most certainly can. Click to get the arc started. And then right on that point right there, snap, and you can see I've got a green line. Maybe make it a linear. Not sure why that guy is not blue. Take a little bit more playing around with it to figure out. But anyway, we don't even need that. Okay, it's not important because when we go to extrude, I've got the left side, the right side, and the top. And the other part is in the middle here. And so when I click on this, I'm going to do a cut, and instead of going a distance, I want it to go through all. And you can see that bottom part of the round is, it's going to make the keyway. I'm coming into the center that's already a hole, and so there is the keyway cut. The last part is making the hole and getting the hole location set up. It's going through all, and you can see they've kind of sketched from this front part here, and that's why it looks a little bit odd that they actually sketched on this surface instead of this surface. So the distance up is 1.65, and they show that again down here in the directions. It's vertically aligned with the center, located approximate distance 1.65 from the center of the hole. And then we use the hole to make a 0.5 through hole. So I'll click on this outside part, just like they did, put a point up here. The distance up is going to be 1.65, and then it's going to have a vertical constraint between itself and the center point. Now when I come to the hole tool, make a 0.5, and it goes through all, and you can see there that it's starting out here, but there's nothing here to cut until it gets to the backside. So there's my hole. Now my circle pattern is right here. First part I want to click on is the feature. I can either click on it in the sketch, or I can also click on the features over here. And that's something that's kind of cool. If I wanted to pattern the extrusion, that little rectangle cut that I did before too, I could do that as well. So the features are selected, the rotation axis. Anything that's a circle is going to get you rectangular patterning around. And do they tell us the number? Let's click on this. We have 10. Or you could count them, but trying to find the picture that tells you saves you a little bit of time. Now you don't actually want to do it the way I just did, because we're only supposed to have one tooth, and I made all of those. So what I can do is right click, edit feature, and I'm going to click on features, and I'm going to shift click on this extrusion. Or sorry, control click on that extrusion. And you can see I was able to unselect it, and now I have just the holes. Or just starting from the beginning, you could delete it, come back, select your circle feature, rotation axis is anything that is round, type in the number 10, and there is your circle pattern tool. Thanks for watching.